formally introduce our Vyaas to us.
Jai Sri Ram devotees, Pranam Guruji, my mom, Lord Sri Ram, and all respected devotees. Like Guruji said, I'll be introducing our beloved Panditji. Our presiding Vyaas for this evening is none other than our devoted Pandit Prakaash Kaushik Latchminarine Iyengar. He is the son of Rajnarayan Krishna Ram Latchminarine Iyengar and Kamalawati Latchminarine. Panditji has consistently tread the path of spirituality in pursuit of endless knowledge, and his contribution to the New York community has greater shown this. He has studied Hindi, Sanskrit, Vedam, and Karmakand from various acharyas and pandits residing in India. Panditji has dedicated his time to the studies of the Rig Veda and Yajur Veda, as well as the Upavedas in studies such as astrology, Ayurveda, and Vastu. He is knowledgeable in the ideologies of the Sri Tulsidas Ramcharitramanas, Sri Valmiki Ramayan, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other Puranas, Shastras, and Itihasas. He has learned astrology and numerology from Guruji Jagan Kaushik Sharma for 2 years. Panditji has been blessed with many teachers who have educated him in singing and musical composition. Due to these teachers, Panditji has even sung in competitions and received numerous accolades. His connections, dedication, and service to Bhagwan have allowed him to show those same characteristics to this community. Panditji has had the honor of serving countless temples throughout the east coast of the US, Guyana, Canada, and much more. Jai Sri Ram.
प्रथमा हम अग्निहोत्रम करेंगे. First and foremost, we'll make offerings to Agni Deva. Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantayet Veenadhare Vipulamangaladhari Shile Bhaktaardhinashine Namchi Harisha Vande Kirti Prade Akhila Manoratha De Mahade Vidya Pradayini Saraswati Nomi Nityam Om Ham Sat Shiva Soham Ham Sat Hasaga Prem Hasak Shamara Varim Hasum Sakshamara Varim So Swarupare Robhayat Vesvagurave Shri Yana Vasveta Shri Lashri 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 Chaitanyānandanath Shri Guru Shri Bhagavatam Pujayami Dharmayami Namaha Om Rāñānam Vaha Aham Brahmasmi Dakshinamurti Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Bhagyanta Vande Guru Parambaram Om Ram Hrim Rom Raim Rom Ram Ramarim Shekta Mandalaya Namaha Shri Jvalanimutra Vrashasva Om Ham Him Hum Him Om Ham Harim Hazum Shri Surya Mandalaya Namaha Shri Surya Mandalam Avahayami Svaha Om Zam Sim Sum Saim Sum Sasvarvarim Shri Sopa Mandalaya Namaha Shri Arja Chandra Madhyam Vrashasva Om Agnivele Purohitam Asratyendra Vartamano Niveshara Samartyanche Hiranyena Savidharathena Devunat Gunarvashchanna Om Shyagnagena Vasva Om Ganana Andva Ganapatikam Havamahe Kavim Kavina Pupustasvam Shri Hrim Hrim Blom Gam Namo Bhagavate Hrivalabhe Manotnye Shri Hrivaye Shri Varavarita Shri Vallabha Shri Mahaganadivaraye Namo Namah Svaha Om Shri Hrim Hrim Blom Ganga Ela Hrim Chagatchakasam Bhantre Asakala Hrim Udaga Avisurya Sakala Hrim Saravandane Indra Devashe Ganamatage Paravarta Sarvajam Me रचमानय स्वाहा स्वाहा श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः ॐ भास्करायश्च विद्महे सहस्रकीर्णाय धीमहि तन्नो सूर्यः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं ऐं ह्रीं सो श्रीराजराजेश्वर्यै नमो नमः स्वाहा ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्छे ॐ अहं श्रीं ह्रीं अहं पद्मद्वादवादिनी श्रीराजराजेश्वर्यै नमो नमः स्वाहा तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्री हर 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 मन्महादेवाय नमो नमः स्वाहा ॐ आञ्जनेयाय विद्महे पञ्चवक्त्रकाय धीमहि तन्नो हनुमन्ता प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा श्रीशक्राय नमो नमः स्वाहा श्रीशङ्काय नमो नमः स्वाहा श्रीपद्माय नमः स्वाहा श्रीभुराय नमः स्वाहा श्रीचतुर्मुखाय चतुर्भुजे श्रीविष्णवे परमात्मने नमो नमः स्वाहा श्री ह्रीं क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय परापुरुषाय परमात्मने परकर्ममन्त्रेन्द्रन्द्रोषधे सहस्राणि संहर संहर मृत्योर्मोचय मोचये ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदर्शनाय दीप्त्रे ज्वालापरीताय सर्वचक्षोभर्गराय ॐ भट् ब्रह्मणे परं ज्योतिषे सहस्राहुं भट् स्वाहा दशरथाय विद्महे सीतावल्लभाय धीमहि तन्नो रामः प्रचोदयात् श्रीरामरक्षकाय नमो नमः स्वाहा ॐ भूः ॐ भुवः ॐ गोस्वः ॐ हः ॐ जरः ॐ तपः ॐ गुसत्यं तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा आचमन्यम् आचमन्यं राचमन्यं शुद्ध आचमन्यं समर्पयामि शग्नेश्वराय नमो नमः प्रेम सो श्री अग्नि भगवान की प्रेम सो श्री पार्वती माता की प्रेम सो श्री शंकर भगवान की श्री सीता रामचंद्र भगवान की भक्तजनों, before engaging Katha for this evening, I kindly ask all of you to please clasp your hands and close your eyes as we engage in prarthana before Katha for this evening. वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरु शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोक्ति चन्द्र सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणगा पुण्यारण्यविहारिणो वन्दे विशोधने ज्ञानो कवीश्वर कवीश्वरो ॐ उद्भवस्थितिसंहारकारिणी क्लेशहारिणी सर्वश्रेयस्करिणी सीता गतोऽहं रामवल्लभा रामा 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 तुलसीदास स्वामी महाराज की, प्रेम श्री वेद व्यास भगवान की। भक्तजनों, Prathama, first and foremost, I pay my humble obeisance to lotus-like feet of Bhagavan Ganapati, Shri Vighneshwara. I pray that may Bhagavan Shri Vighneshwara Swami, may Bhagavan Ganapati sit upon my forehead, guiding my every single thought, my every single word, without any impediment. To Ma Saraswati, to Ma Veena Vadani, may she guide my tongue so that I may make no mistakes in my speech. May she guide my throat so that I may be able to articulate, to speak as she intends. To lotus-like feet of Ma Parvati, Ma Adishakti, the one who resides within me, granting me the creation of thoughts, granting me the creativity that I need. To Bhagavan Shiva Shankara, the one who grants peace, the one who grants balance. To lotus-like feet of Brahmadev, to lotus-like feet of Bhagavan Shri Latchminarine, and to the feet of Sita Ramachandra Bhagavan, not forgetting the one who is always with them, Hanuman Swami. कथा आरंभित हो तो है सुनहु वीर हनुमान, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी सदा करे कल्याण। प्रेम से बोलो हनुमान स्वामी की जय। To the feet of Hanuman Swami, I pay my humble obeisance to his lotus-like feet. My most respected parents, my mother, my Mata Shri, my father, my Pita Shri, my respected gurus, my respected teachers, those who are present upon Prithvi Loka, and those who have ascended to Swarga Loka, who have ascended to the Dham of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, especially my late Guruji Jagan Kaushik Sharma. I bid my humble obeisance to their lotus-like feet. Most respected Panditjis, respected Dharmacharya-ji, respected Pandit Ravi-ji, Pandit Neeraj-ji, younger bhai, Pandit Sachin-ji, other respected Pandits and Brahmanas, respected mothers, fathers, Ayyas, Ammas, brothers, sisters, devotees all, I bid you my humble Jai Shri Ram!
Jai Shri Ram!
Bhaktashano, I feel as if I cannot hear all of you. I think it might be because I'm a little bit up here. So I want to hear all of you once again, not from your lips, from your hearts. Chant the name of Bhagavan Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram!
Jai Shri Ram!
That's a lot better, Bhaktashano. First and foremost, I want to say that it is an honor, a privilege and a blessing that I am sitting in Satsanga with all of you beautiful bhaktas on this first night of Ramayan in the park. Tonight we have welcomed Bhagavan Shri Ram. Tonight we have established Rama Raja here in Queens, New York. But as such, coming here tonight, Bhaktajano, I feel a little bit lost. Lost in not the way as in I do not know where I am. I know very well where I am, who I am, what I am doing here. But all of us come here lost. We are looking for something that we have lost. And what we are looking for is Ram Katha. What our ears yearn for, what our hearts yearn for, is Ram Naam. Listening to the name of Bhagavan Shri Ram, chanting the name of Bhagavan Shri Ram, and hearing his glories. And tonight, I've been given a very great task, and that is the Udeshya, the goal of summarizing Balakand this evening. There are two Kands that I hold in such great respect. That is Balakand, Uttarkand. These two Kands are two of the Kands of the Ramcharitamanas that I hold extremely high in respect. Because to read and analyze Balakand is to set the foundation upon which we understand Ramcharitamanas. And to read and understand Uttarakand is to understand how Ramcharitamanas applies in our life. Tonight, Bhaktajano, I ask all of you to join me as we journey through the pages of the Sri Balakanda, of the Sri Ramcharitamanas. But before doing so, we must give obeisance to one, and that is अनुरागा। मैं गुरु महाराज के चरण कमल वंदना करता हूँ। I bow down to that lotus-like feet of the Guru. It is that same Guru who removes all forms of ignorance, who introduces to me light, who guides my every thought, my every action, my every word. I ask that may my Gurus be afar or be near, and guide me as I embark upon Balakand. We always say, the Guru, there is no one like the Guru. Guru vina gulam mana guvatanaka doriyatan namukuti. We ask, if one does not serve their Guru, then what are we doing? What are we doing with ourselves? Pari pari shastra bano didareno vyartha vaitu bhaguti. We can study many shastras, many Vedas, many Puranas, किंतु सब कुछ में ही व्यर्थ है. All of it is a waste if we do not remember the Guru. Reminds me of a bhajan dedicated to Gurus. सारे तीरथ राम आपके चरणों में, हे गुरुदेव प्रणाम आपके चरणों में. सारे तीरथ राम आपके चरणों में. सारे तीरथ धाम चरणों में हे गुरुदेव प्रणाम आपके चरणों में हे गुरुदेव प्रणाम आपके चरणों में हे गुरुदेव प्रणाम आपके चरणों में सारे तीर्थ धाम आपके चरणों में that at the lotus like feet of our gurus we can find many tirthas. We will go on into India, we will go on many pilgrimages. You can go visit every pilgrimage, but all of them are gathered at one place, that is at the lotus-like feet of your Guru. Hence, before I begin, aside from giving my obeisance to Bhagavan Ganapati, to Ma Saraswati, I give my obeisance to Guru Deva. Tonight, as I open Balkand, I want to open with one very special question. And that is, how does Dharma enter a world losing its direction? In this samsara, this ocean-like world, filled with much maya, filled with much illusion, it's very easy for us to lose our way. It's very easy for us to lose sense of dharma. We follow Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma meaning eternal dharma, eternal duty. Hamare Sanatana Dharma, our religion, as a crude way of saying it, is a way of life, not simply a religion. There are many paths within Sanatana Dharma, many sections, many smart paths, many pithas, a variety of dharma. There are many ways within Sanatana Dharma to seek out Bhagavan, to seek out Devi, to seek out Paramananda, Paramatma. And as such, in a world plagued by adharma, in order to regain our path, in order to properly follow dharma, we need a change of dharma swabhava. Dharma swabhava, meaning the way how we feel about dharma. So allow me to ask, we want change that is good. Isn't that right, Prakaash? We want good change in our lives. But the question is, are we ready for it? Are we ready to accept dharma into our lives? Each and every single day, we prioritize personal change, personal growth, whether that's getting a new job, getting a new car, gaining some new knowledge, gaining some new associates, gaining a new appearance. Many ways by which we change ourselves. But do we ask ourselves, in which way is this change beneficial to ourselves, beneficial to those around us, and beneficial to our society? Change, parivartana, is something that comes to us each and every single day. In the smallest to the biggest of dosages. Do we ask ourselves if certain changes makes us wiser, kinder, more disciplined, better able to contribute to society? We always think about changing ourselves, but do we ever think about changing our families, changing our communities, bringing change in our society? When we perceive hatred, jealousy, anger, that Kali Yuga introduces to our life every single day, do we allow these negative changes to rule us? Do we let it fester? So what is it, Prakaash? we cannot change for the good. And tonight in Balkan, I want to show what it means to have good change. And as such, first and foremost, we look at the feet of the Guru. Shri Guru Padana Kamayan Manajoti Sunganata Dedishitiya Hoti Dalana Mohatama Sosu Prakasu Bade Bhaga Ur Avayu Jasu. That the lotus-like feet of the Guru, that individual who removes all darkness. The Guru is the first individual who brings about positive change in our lives. Without our Guru, we do not have direction. And you do not need to have a person to consider a Guru who lives upon this earth. You can consider Bhagavan to be your Guru, and Bhagavan will guide you forward. Walking in the right direction means knowing first where we are putting our feet. And the one who teaches us to walk, the one who teaches us how to talk, the one who teaches us how to act, first and foremost, are our parents. Our parents are essential to each and every single one of us. Our parents are necessary to bring in good change, because our parents are the one who raised us, who inscribed values, samskaras, onto us, who taught us right from wrong. Our parents are the one who teach us, who rear us into becoming who we are meant to be today. Hence, they are the first Guru. Then we have Shri Guru. Shri Guru being one who you take diksha from, whether that's someone who's earthly or someone who's spiritual. So, aside from seeking guidance from our Guru, aside from gaining direction from our Guru, what else brings about good change for us, Prakaash? Shri Ramayan states, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Biru Satsanga Venkata Hoyi Rakan Tripade Sulabhata Soyi Satya Sanga Muda Mangala Muda Soyi Phale Sab Sadhan Muda Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Bina satsanga vivekana hoi Ramam kripa bina sulabh masoi. The other way we are guided through good change is by sitting in satsanga. Satsang meaning the company of those who are good, those who are truthful, those who speak the truth, those who value the truth with respect. We say, Satsanga mein beti ke Hari Naam lijiye. Every single time we are in Satsanga, we take the name of Bhagavan Shri Hari, hai na? सुंदर है नाम राम का सुमिरन तो कीजिए संतन के संग में बैठ के संतन के संग में के हरि नाम लीजिए संतन के संग में बैठ के हरि नाम लीजिए सुंदर है नाम राम का सुंदर है नाम राम का सुमिरन तो कीजिए संतन के संग में बैठ के हरि नाम लीजिए आना नहीं है बार बार इस जग के बीच में आना नहीं है बार बार इस जग के बीच में आना नहीं है बार बार आना नहीं है बार बार इस जग के बीच में रिश्ता तो मेरे नाम से रिश्ता तो मेरे नाम से अब जोड़ लीजिए सुंदर है नाम राम का सुंदर है नाम राम का सुमिरन तो कीजिए संग में बैठ के हरि नाम लीजिए संग में बैठ के हरि नाम लीजिए आना नहीं है बार बार इस जग के बीच में We are always destined to come over and over again to be subjected to Punarjanma. When we pass from this world, rebirth is predetermined. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. As such, when we sit and we establish that relationship, Rishta to mere Ram se ab chhod lijiye. When we establish that relationship between us and Bhagavan Shri Ram, that is when we are in Satsanga. Satsanga allows for good change, for us to attach ourselves to Bhagavan, to Bhagavati, in a variety of different ways. Satsanga creates many wonders, but we must also be very wary of its opposite. Where there is happiness, there is sadness. Where there is light, there is dark. Where there is satsanga, there is also kusanga. Kusanga, as you can imagine, is the opposite of that which is truthful. Is the opposite of that which is dharmic. We are reminded that in this day and age of Kali Yuga, with the Ashtabhasha, with the 8 vices running around amok in this world, it is very easy to become subjected to kusanga. As such, we must always make sure that we are within satsanga. Satsanga bridges us together. Not just the relationship between us and Bhagavan Sri Ram, but us to Dharma. The connection is, Bhaktajano, Dharma starts, the establishment of Dharma starts with us ourselves. It then moves to our families. It moves to our communities and then to our society as a whole. This is how Dharma is established. When we are in Satsanga, we remind ourselves of the values of Dharma. We reinscribe ourselves with those same values. Then we spread that to our family. We are supported, we are encouraged to spread these values of righteousness to our families. From our families, it spreads to our communities, and from our communities to our society. But similarly, kusanga can spread the same way. Adharma can spread the same way as well. When adharma spreads, it causes division. When we see division, when we see rifts, when we see issues, do we let it fester, Bhaktashino? Do we let the gaps, the cracks within Dharma fester? Division is a very powerful word. It's a very powerful concept. Division is what once broke our Sanatana Dharma in the past. I mentioned earlier about many varieties of schools of knowledge. Smartas. You have Advaita, Vedanta, Veda, Tantra, Yantra. Many different schools of knowledge within Sanatana Dharma. And 500 years ago, what led to Sanatana Dharma, what led Sanatana Dharma to its collapse, what led Sanatana Dharma to its decline, was these schools of knowledge being divided. Realize this, Bhaktashino. You may know Vedanta, you may know Vedanta, you may know Advaita, you may know whatever school of knowledge you may know. Shakti Pantha, Vaishnava Pantha, Ramanuja Pantha, Shaiva Pantha, Shri Vidya Tantra Pitham. You may know any sort of school of knowledge, but no, not a single one of them is separate from one another. To understand is what is necessary. To understand, to know, to acknowledge is necessary for Dharma. And as such, Tulsidas Swami, in the Sri Ramayan, he gives us a very beautiful description. He says, Tulsidas Swami, he describes the Sri Ramayan in such a beautiful way. The Sri Ramacharita is consistent of 4 conversations. The conversation between Mahadev and Ma Parvati, the conversation between Kagabhushundi and Garuda, the conversation between Yajnavalkya to Bharadvaja Rishi, and the conversation of Tulsidas Swami to each and every single one of us, the listeners. These are the 4 main speakers, the Sri Ramacharita. And the way how Tulsidas Swami describes the Sri Ramacharita. Sapta Prabhanda Subhaga Sopana Jnanagara Nikhata Manamana. 4 gods, rather 4 speakers, 4 gods, 4 holy tirthams, 7 gardens. There are 7 steps that is into that infinite lake that is Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra. That Manasam that we cannot even gauge the depth of. The name of Bhagavan Sri Ram, Ma Janaki, their essence is that Amrit like water, that nectar like water that resides within that Manas, that lake. Chanda, Swarthas, Dohas, Chobais, being the various different colored lotuses that decorate this Manas. The Punyas, the good karma, Jnana, Vairagya, Vichara, as the various animals that are surrounding this Manasam. The Ramacharita Manas is a beautiful text. It is filled with endless transformation. Transformation that begins when humans, when us listeners become capable of listening again. But the question is, what type of listener should we be? We realize that in order for us to receive the knowledge of our gurus, to truly perceive satsanga, to truly perceive Bhagavan and Bhagavati, to understand Ramacharita Manas, we must become apt listeners. And I will give you an example of an apt listener. For that, we look very simply at the transformation of Shakti. As Tulsidas Ji writes, जो व्यापक नीचे आ जाए, जो व्यापक नीचे आ जाए, अकल की है अभेद, अकल अनी है अभेद, सो की है धरी होई, नर जाही गए When Bhagavan Shankara was trying to relate to Sati, Ram Katha, Rama Mahima, it was in the nature of Sati Devi to question, why is it that Bhagavan, Sri Ram, or how is it that someone who is Sarva Vyapi, ब्रह्म जी को व्यापक विरज अचल अकल अनीह अभेद. The one who is without form, the one who is vast, eternal, without any nature. How can they be confined to a mortal body? Sati Devi listened to Adal Katha, but she was never able to truly receive the Amrit, that is Ramacharitra. Because Sati Devi, unlike Ma Parvati, she had a difference in ideology. She always questioned to challenge the nature of Bhagavan Shri Ram. But when Shakti took on a new form as Ma Parvati, instead of questioning, instead of challenging the nature of Bhagavan Shri Ram, she tried to understand Bhagavan Shri Ram. Shri Ramacharitra is not a text to be challenged. It is a text that must be understood. It is a text rooted within understanding, within listening, without any doubts, without any pain, any glani, any fear, any guilt. To understand Ramacharitra is to understand that Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra represents change. Change that is good. Good change, therefore, does not mean blindly accepting everything. Listening does not mean blindly accepting and listening to everything. It means becoming humble enough to listen and to sincerely learn and transform. To read the Ramacharitra is to look within your hearts, within your minds, within your thoughts, to search for Sri Ramachandra. With understanding, with bhakti, with love, to understand the glories of Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra. And as such, to understand furthermore Sri Ramacharitra Manas, we must understand why did Bhagavan Sri Ram take avatar upon this world? Why is it that Bhagavan Sri Ram took his Swarup when Bhagavan Sri Hari embodied himself as a human mortal being upon this Prithvi Loka? In Balkand, Tulsidas, she writes, जब जब होई धर्म दिहानी, जब जब होई धर्म दिहानी, कहूँ विधि असुर अधम अभिमानी, करही अनीति जाई नहीं बरनी, करही अनीति जाई नहीं बरनी, श्री श्री सुरधरणी श्री राम जय राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय 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 सुरनायक जय सुखदायक प्रणतमाल भगवंता गोद्विज हितकारी जय सुरारी सुध सुता प्रिय कंता पालन सुधरणी अद्भुत करणी मन मन जाने मोही जो सहज कपाला दीन दयाला करो अनुग्रह सोई। Whenever dharma, जब जब होई धर्म की हानि, whenever dharma was at a decline, and whenever adharma was on the rise, it was at that time when the Devdas called upon Bhagavan Sri Hari. He brought ease to their minds, ease to their hearts, and he stated that for the sake of dharma, he will take avatar upon Prithvi Loka to quell the rise of adharma. And as such, we realize that similar to Bhagavan Sri Ram, when dharma declines and suffering increases, Bhagavan does not simply abandon dharma. And if Bhagavan does not abandon dharma, we should not also abandon dharma. Dharma does not only enter the world through avatar. The dharma does not need the form of Bhagavan Sri Ram just to enter. Dharma must start with us. We must inscribe dharma, the values of Bhagavan Sri Ram, within us. And as such, we speak about the birth of Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra. As Tulsidas Swami beautifully opens this portion of Bhagavad, he starts with an individual who's filled to the brim with restlessness. Jai Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. एक बार भूपत मन माही, वही कांति मोरे सुत नाही। सुरगत कुलगत कयो सुगत महिपाला, चरण जागी करे प्रेम पिसाला। सिया रामा, सिया रामा, सिया रामा, जय 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 रामा, श्री राम जय 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 रामा, सिया रामा, जय 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 रामा, श्री राम जय 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 रामा। सब कोई सुनाओ, कभी वशिष्ठ कहु विधि समझाओ। करहु दीन होनी सुख चारी, रघुवन बिगत भगत भयहारी। सिया रामा, सिया रामा, सिया रामा, जय 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 रामा, जय राम जय 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 रामा। सिया रामा, जय 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 रामा, जय राम जय 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 रामा। ताम सुभजाक्य करावा भगति सहत मुनि आहुति दीने प्रगति अगणित चालू कर लीने सिया रामा सिया रामा सिया रामा जय जय राम सिया जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया जय जय राम। एक बार भूपत मन माही भई ग्लानि मोरे सूत नाही। One day, Dasarath Ji Maharaj, in his mind, he had so much guilt. He had so much pain, so much fear in his mind that मोरे सुत नहीं कि मेरे के साथ कोई पुत्र नहीं है. I do not have any son to which I can share my fatherly joy with. I cannot enjoy fatherhood because I do not have a son. So being very rattled, being very bothered, the first person that Dasarath Ji Maharaj approaches is his Guru. Guru greh gayu turat mahipala chanad lagi kari binang misal. It goes to show, whenever we are at any crossroad, whenever we are having any difficulties, the first person we must always seek conference, seek consultance with is the feet of our Guru. And the Guru, Nij dukh sukh sab Guru hi sunayo, kahi vasishta bahut samjha. As a Guru, Vasishta Rishi, Vasishta Muni, Maharishi, he listened to each and every single thing that Raja Dasarath had to say. Every single piece of himself that he was giving to his Guru, all of his grief, he gave it voluntarily. And listening very carefully, his Guru provided to him some advice. He first and foremost tells him, Danahu dhiraho hi sutachari truvana bedita bhagat bhayahari. He says, hey Rajan, hey Vatsa, hey Dasarath Ji Maharaj, calm yourself. There is no need to worry, for you will not have one, not two, but 4 sons. And hearing these words, Dasarath Ji Maharaj felt all of his worries dissipate. Such is the nature of a Guru. Someone with very simple words, who can dissipate, who can remove any form of malice, any form of negativity plaguing our minds. So we asked Dasarath Ji Maharaj, Sringi Rishihi Vasishta Bolava, Putraka Vasubhajakya Karava, भगत सहत मुनि आहुति दीन है प्रगट अगणित चरु कर ली है. Call Sringi Rishi and have a putra kameshti yajnana. Putra kama, meaning to have the desire to do a yajna with the desire in mind to have a son. Putra kamya is defined very specifically in our sankalpas. And as such, upon calling upon Sringi Rishi, the Putrakameshti area is organized. And upon beginning the Putrakameshti area, whenever we begin any yajna, any puja, any homa, it is important that we first and foremost engage in sankalpa. Sankalpa, as we know, two meanings. Means promise and it means resolve. We make the promise to Bhagavan and Bhagavati that as we engage in puja, our full mind, our full heart, our full attention will only be focused on doing puja. Secondly, we always state the purpose for which we are doing puja. Whether that is for the four purusharthas, the four goals of life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, righteousness, kama, desires, artha, wealth, moksha, liberation. It can be these four purusharthas that we ask for in puja, in sankalpa. But sankalpa is extremely important. Many times you will hear sankalpa chant, and you will hear Shubhe Shobhalam Murti Adya Brahmana Tridya Parate Shri Shetavaraha Kalpe Vevasvatavan Bante Ashta Vinchatame Kaluge Kalabradham Jagne. You will hear Jambu Dvipe Bharat Khande. I've heard this many times. And for your information, Bhaktajano, it is important during a sankalpa to state where we are doing a puja. And Jambu Dvipe, Bharat Khande, indicates that we are doing the puja in India. And I don't know, Bhaktajano, if you've looked outside Liberty Avenue, but I think each and every single one of you noticed that we are in New York, we are in America. Hence we change it to Kromshadrete, Ramanika Varshe, North America Khande. The reason why I say this is because we must give the sankalpa the respect it deserves. We must understand what we are saying in the sankalpa. We must understand what is Tithiva, Yamcha Nakshatram, Yoga Karaname Vaja. What day it is, what star is it under, what yoga and karana are active during the time we are doing the puja, what the masas is, what paksha it is, what half of the year it is, Uttarayane, ya Dakshinayane. These factors are all important. Because if these factors are not fully done, and if they are not fully specified, and if they are inaccurate, bhale, how do we expect to receive the fruit of doing puja? Such is the importance of sankalpa. And it's very important that you know who you have sitting at your sankalpa. Raja Dasarath, when he did his Putrakameshti yajna, he had the sankalpam in his mind that as a result of doing this yajna, he wanted 4 sons. But the Rishi, Shringiri Rishi, who was the only Rishi who knew how to do a Putrakameshti yajna, when he was chanting the sankalpa, he had a different desire in his heart, in his mind. And that was, O Bhagavan, grant the desire of Raja Dasarath, but also allow it so that upon the completion of this yajna, may dharma be re-established within this world. And so, the sankalpa of both Shringi Rishi and Raja Dasarath was made, so it was fulfilled. And at the very end, at the time of the Purnahuti, as they're chanting, Om Rajavare Pade Manyano Vishvachata Nivrata Bhuvan Yam Kama Srasunyo Vinsyam Patayo Reina Evam Nivasar Brahmahi Sedam Nirene Vipitri Visamvirana Adva Mantraha Kushidam Dera Rajan Habishamada Svaha. When they're offering the ghee to send the devtas that they invoke for the homa, send the devtas back to their respective lokas, back to their respective locations. At that time, Agni, he comes out from the Havan Kund, and in his hands is a patra of charu, what we may call crudely sweet rice. And he hands this charu, this payasam, to Dasarath Ji Maharaj. Dasarath Ji Maharaj does not give this payasam to every individual who is present at this yajna. No. He only gives it to those who it is meant for. That being Ma Kaushalya, Ma Sumitra, Ma Kaikai. And the three of them receive their shares of this charu. And it goes to show, not every puja that we do, Bhaktas, the prasadam is meant for everyone. So we do puja for a variety of reasons, with a variety of sankalpas, with a variety of desires. What we desire is not the same as what another person desires. We must keep in mind the concept of sankalpa and the concept of karma phala, puja phala, receiving the fruits, the benefits of our puja, homa, and yajna. As such, after completing the Puttaragami yajna, we reach the point upon which Bhagavan Shri Ram is to enter this world. Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Padhu Master Munita, Shukla Pash Abhi Chita Harita. Pavan Kal Lok Visrana, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. चले सकल सुन सजे गगन मन सुन सूरज वही कौन सर्व श्री राम जय राम भगवान श्री राम नौमी तिथि मधुमास पुनीता शुक्ल पक्ष अभिजित हरिप्रीता. On the 9th day in Madhumas, the month of Chaitra, Shukla Paksha, in the bright half of the month, Abhijit Hariprita, under the nakshatra of Abhijit Nakshatra, Chara Aru Achara Hareshwara, Shri Madhyadivasa Ati Sitana Dhama, in the middle of the day, at which time it is peaceful. All the Jivatas, all the Jivakas, all living beings, Pashus, Pakshis, were calm. The wind itself was calm. The oceans and the rivers were calm. Pavana Kala Loka Visarama. Such a time may never come again. When Bhagavan Sri Ram was born into this world. And with the birth of Bhagavan Sri Ram, we are reminded of something that is very important. Dasharatha Maharaj, he wanted a son. The Devtas, they wanted adharma to be quelled. The earth, Madharti, she wanted relief. Humanity needed dharma. And Bhagavan Sri Ram's janma, his birth itself, was a solution to each and every single problem that existed for all living beings. That was the imbalance of dharma and adharma, the imbalance of the world, the imbalance of papa and punya. That is what Bhagavan Sri Ram's janma alone solved. We always pray for something. Do we not, Bhakti? We pray according to what small amounts of our issues, of our problems that we see. But Bhagavan, when he answers, he does not answer the small picture. He does not give a small answer. He gives an answer to all. And that is also the nature of dharma, the nature of change. When change arrives, when change is pushed, it is not just one small change that occurs. It is something that occurs on the largest level possible. As such, when Bhagavan Sri Ram was born into this world, and as he grew into a young individual, Tulsidas Ji provides the precedents by which Bhagavan Sri Ram lived his life. Pratakal udike raghunatha matu pita guru navahi matha Agasu Mag karahi purka ja dekhi charit harshai man raja. That every single morning without any fail, Bhagavan Sri Ram would rise. And the first thing that he would do is bow to lotus-like feet of his parents. In my Guru Parampara, my Guru teach me, the moment you wake up in the morning, forget whatever is happening. There is one thing that must come first, and that is remembrance to your parents, remembrance to your gurus, remembrance to Suryadev and to Dhartima. Every morning, when I wake up, before I even open my eyes, I'm already praying and giving my salutations to my Guru. That is what many Guru Paramparas will teach. But this common value that we see and read so commonly, we do not follow it. If we were to only follow a fraction of the example Bhagavan Sri Ram has left for us, Dharma would be in a much better state. And as such, one day, at the doors of Raja Dasarath, an individual arrives. One day, at the doors of Ayodhya, arrives a Rishivan, a Munivan. And this Rishivan is none other than Vishwamitra Rishi. Now, Maharishi Vishwamitra, he has what I'd like to call a reputation. If you've ever read the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, you know the katha of Raja Harishchandra. Raja Harishchandra being one of the ancestors by 3 generations to Raja Dasarath. Raja Harishchandra was also visited by Vishwamitra Rishi. And when Vishwamitra came to Raja Harishchandra, he asked for every single thing Raja Harishchandra had. From his kingdom, to his wealth, to his people, to his seat. Every single thing Raja Harishchandra had to give away to Vishwamitra Maharishi. So, seeing Vishwamitra Rishi approach Ayodhya, Raja Dasarath, his mind was already filled with that memory. His mind was filled with doubt. But upon asking Vishwamitra Rishi that किही कारण आगमन तुम्हारा कहो सो करते नो लाभो वाला. Tell me, O Rishivan, O Munivan, किस कारण से तुम यहाँ आए हैं? For which reason have you arrived here at Avadhavura? And by which Vishwamitra, before entering Ayodhya, he looked very carefully at the surroundings of Ayodhya. How Ayodhya seemed to be a city steeped in dharma, steeped and filled to the brim with righteousness, with sat, with truthfulness. And as such, seeing that, he also saw Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra. Because after giving obeisance to the lotus-like feet of his mother, his father, and his guru, Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra, without any delay, he would go start working on the every single day work that was required within Ayodhya, fulfilling his duties as much as he possibly could. So, knowing this, Vishwamitra asked for one thing from the Dasarath Maharaj. Anuja samet de Raghunatha nisichar pathar mein ho basmata. He tells Dasarath Maharaj that, hey Rajan, I am plagued by these Rakshasas who every single time my rishis of my ashrama attempt to do any form of tapasya, attempt to do any form of yajna, of homa, they are there to obstruct it. So, please, O Rajan, give to me Raghunatha, give to me Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra, Anuja Sameta, with one of his younger brothers, so that we may do our yajna, protected by them. And Raja Dasarath, hearing these words, Suni Raja ati apriyavani hide kampa mukha tuti kumula. Hearing these words, Maharaj Dasarath's heart sinks. Because to him these words, even though they are a kind request from Vishwamitra Rishi, one of the Saptarishis, one of the Maharishis, to him these are the harshest words anyone can give to him. And these words are what he considers apriyavani. Language that is unbecoming, language that is unappeasing to his ears. But Vishwamitra makes the plea to Dasharatha Ji Maharaj. And he has to make the choice to let his son go to defend Dharma. Dharma is very easy when it agrees with our desires. Dharma is easy when it agrees with our hearts. But the real test is that comes when Dharma asks us to sacrifice something precious. And to Dasharatha Ji Maharaj, there was nothing more precious than Shri Ram. There was nothing more precious than Bhagavan Shri Ram. And as such, upon a lot of convincing, Dasharatha Ji Maharaj, he places his trust in his gurus. Vishwamitra, who he considers a guru, in Vasishtha Muni, the gurus who taught Bhagavan Shri Ram and Bhagavan Lakshmana. And he sends the both of them to go and defend the yajna of Vishwamitra Ji. Now, a question I always get asked is that, Panditji, Vishwamitra, before becoming one of the Maharishis, he was first and foremost known as a Kshatriya, as a warrior. Then he became a Brahma Maharishi through years and years of tapasya. From Raja to Rajarshi, Rajarshi to Rishi, Rishi to Maharishi. He did lots and lots of tapasya. But how is it that Vishwamitra Rishi could not defend his own yajna? And to this we look at a very controversial concept that is known as Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma, Varna Ashrama, is described as Dharma, our duties according to our profession. It is within the profession of a Brahmana to defend Dharma, but they do not pick up any weapons. They do not pick up any tools. All they use is their words. It is within the profession of a Kshatriya that they fight for that which is righteous, using words, using weapons, using tools, any medium that is possible. They fight to defend. A Vaishya, they will compromise. They will take any approach possible, to give in someone to follow a dharmic path. And a Shudra will use hard work and effort to do the same. But understand this, Bhaktajano, this concept of Varnashrama Dharma does not bind us in this modern day age of Kali Yuga. Because on the time of Kurukshetra, during the Mahabharata, when Gandhari, the mother of the Kauravas, came and watched and saw the aftermath of the Mahabharata war, joined by Bhagavan Shri Krishna, she asked Bhagavan Shri Krishna, that, "O Prabhu, what will be the result of this Mahabharata?" And Shri Krishna Chandra's answer was that as a result of this Mahabharata, that concept of Varnashrama Dharma will not be based off of birth. It will be based off of one's karma, one's disposition, how they choose to live in their lives, and the attributes by which they show. A Kshatriya is not defined as a Kshatriya by their name, A Brahmana is not defined but as a Brahmana by their name. They are defined by their actions. They are defined by what they do, what they say, what they speak, and how they act. To be a Brahmana means to always seek knowledge, to always worship Bhagavan, to seek and share and disperse knowledge freely, to never let the Ashtabasha, to never allow any of the vices to enter our minds. That is what it means to be a Brahmana. And as such, because of that dharma that Vishwamitra follows, as opposed to Kshatriya dharma, that picks up weapons and defends, he could not defend his own yajna. So thus, he turned to Bhagavan Sri Ram. And Bhagavan Sri Ram and Lakshmana, they follow Vishwamitra Rishi. They defend his yajna from Tataka. And it goes to show that dharma cannot merely exist privately. Dharma must protect the conditions in which righteousness can flourish. Our dharma does not only serve as a way of us to understand, as a way for us to live our lives, but as a way for us to preserve our lives and our way of living as well. If we cannot follow this dharma, then we are failing our Sanatana dharma. And as Vishwamitra Rishi, he completes his yajna. I know I'm running a little bit late on time, but I'll ask for 5 minutes more. If you can please, Kripaya. We first turn, as we end Balkand, to two final major events. That is the Uttara of Ahilya. There's a very famous Eid. Palluke bangaramaya udandavani palluke bangaramaya palluke bangaramaya udandavani palluke bangaramaya Father, Rati Rati Gachisi Bhutane Rati Chindi Vashi Paluge Bagar Paluge Bagar Maya Tilachi Malakal Chapani Paluge Bagar Devani Paluge Bagar Rati Gati Gajisi Bhutane Muna Prakhyati Chinditi Vaniri Digo Namiti Tandri Paluge Bangar Maya Shri Purandaradasa writes in Telugu that Rati Gati Gajesi, that Ahilya was confined to a stone-like appearance where she couldn't move, though in her mind every single day she devoted herself to Bhagavan. She was unable to be freed from that stone prison that she was entrapped within by Agastya Atri Muni. As such, Ahilya represents a life in which becomes frozen and isolated. But just by touching Ahilya once, Bhagavan Sri Ram restored the dignity and the life, the pran of Ahilya. Dharma re-establishes compassion. It allows redemption. And it does not allow an individual to be permanently defined by the lowest moments of their life. In following Maryada Purushottama Sri Ramachandra, in following Dharma, we are reminded of this. And I end my katha this evening speaking about the Swayamvara of Ma Janaki. We all know the Swayamvara of Ma Janaki, but there's one point we always overlook. For Bhagavan Sri Ram to even engage, for him to even go and try to lift the Shiv Dhanush, he did not exuberate his power, his capabilities like any other. Instead, he waited for the permission of his gurus. It goes to show that many approach strength, knowledge, influence as something to display. But Bhagavan Sri Ram shows that power, strength, influence and knowledge comes with discipline. To follow Dharma, we need discipline in our lives, Bhaktajano. Power without discipline becomes dangerous. Dharma does not make a person weak. It teaches a powerful person when and why to use their strengths. And with this, I end my katha by answering this final question. That how is it, Bhaktajano, Dharma enters a world losing its direction? The answer that Balkand provides is, through Guru comes direction. Through Shravana, through listening comes understanding. Through humility, through Vinamrata comes change. Through change, we become capable of recognizing Bhagavan. Through avatara, through understanding Saguna Brahman, Bhagavan Sri Ram with form, we understand his glories. We understand the impact of Dharma. Through sacrifice, Dharma leaves comfort. Through courage, Dharma confronts adharma, evil. Through protection, Dharma allows righteousness to flourish. Through compassion, Dharma restores those who are fallen. And through discipline, Dharma governs power. And through righteousness, Dharma can rebuild any society. We live in a society today that is fractured, that is divided, where every single day we see more and more division. There needs to come an end to that division, Bhaktajano, because 500 years ago, that is what allowed us to become subjected to the Mughals. In order for us to follow Dharma, we must reunite. Because Dharma believes in the core value of Vasudhaiva, Kutumbakam. And if the world will not listen, we listen. If the world refuses to change, we change. And if the world abandons Dharma, we live Dharma. And these are the values that we are reminded of within Balakand. We learn from Maryada Purushottama Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra how Dharma dictates, how Dharma guides our every single day life. And it is on this point, Bhaktajano, I end my katha for this evening. I want to first and foremost thank my parents, my gurus, my teachers. I want to thank the committee of Ramayan the Park for granting me this opportunity. Dharmacharya Pandit Chinilalji for granting me this opportunity. I want to thank each and every single one of you who have come here this evening to listen to Ram Katha, to initiate in 7 nights, or rather 8 sessions of Ram Katha and the glories of Bhagavan Sri Ram. And I want to encourage each and every single one of you to keep coming night after night to listen to the glories of Bhagavan Sri Ram, to allow ourselves to find Bhagavan Sri Ram once more, and to allow ourselves to re-establish Rama Rajya in our every single day lives. And it is on this note that I hand over the mic to Dharmachari Paninji Chunilalji. And I bid all of you my humble Jai Shri Ram!
Okay, do a kirtan before you finish.
This bhajan says, Bhaktashano, that this world is filled with many forms of dukkha, filled with many forms of sadness. That in order for us to seek happiness, we must gather together. Sukh ki aasit jo more bhai, sukh ki aasit jo more bhai, jagat hai bada dukhdai, jagat hai bada dukhdai, sukh ki aasit jo more bhai, sukh ki aasit jo more bhai, झूठे रिश्ते झूठे नाते हैं, झूठे रिश्ते झूठे नाते, कहाँ किसी का कौन हुआ है, कहाँ किसी का कौन हुआ है, कहाँ किसी का कौन हुआ है। कब बाजी उल्टी पड़ जाए, यह जीवन एक जुआ है, तो यह जीवन एक जुआ है। परछाई भी होती सुख की आसित जो मोरे भाई, सुख की आसित जो मोरे भाई। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। दुनिया दिखती नहीं है, लेकिन खेल पुराने चलते, देखे खेल पुराने चलते, लहराता इतिहास स्वयं को, यहाँ के पल पात्र बदलते, यहाँ के पल पात्र बदलते, बस रीति यही चली, यहाँ केवल पात्र बदलते, बस रीति यही चली, आई सुख की खोज, सुख की आसित जो मोरे भाई, सुख की आसित जो मोरे भाई। श्री राम जय जय राम, 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 श्री राम जय जय राम। जय श्री राधा रामचंद्र भगवान की, जय श्री रामायण मार्ग की, जय श्री तुलसीदास स्वामी की, जय श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की।
Why don't you put your hands together and a huge round of applause for Vyaas. He certainly has done justice to the Balkhand of the Sri Ramacharitamanus. You know, when Goswami Tulsidas Ji wrote this text, more than 500 years ago, it was revealed to him, the visionary that he was, he knew that 500 years later, in the United States of America, in a city like New York, on this ground, his Ramayan will be repeated. And that is what has happened here tonight and shall happen during the course of this entire week. You see, I'm totally overwhelmed because now the Ramayan, you see, as seen through the lens or the eyes of our youth, young people, their interpretation of the text and presented to us to fit the challenges that we face in these modern times. So Vyaas did a remarkable job tonight. Vyaas, as usual, very impressed. Wonderful, wonderful articulation from the Balkan of the Sri Ram Charitamrita. There's a couple of points I'd like to just comment on briefly because in the essence of time, it's raining out there and you need to get home early so you can join us back tomorrow and the rest of the days as well. But the highlight of his discourse, and I'm pretty sure all of you listened with rapt attention as well, when he I like this choice of this topic because on the first day of the Ramayan in the park, Sri Ram must be introduced to Ayodhya. And that is what he did here tonight. He brought Sri Ram to Ayodhya. Sri Ram took, birth is used figuratively in the text because God doesn't take birth because he who takes birth has to die. So you don't worship a God who dies. Sri Ram, he descended, he ascended. So Sri Ram came into the world, at the petition of the devotees. And of course, as he says, as he narrates, Ek Bara Bhupati Man Mahi, Bhai Glani More Satnahi, Guru Griha Gayo Turat Mehi Pala, Charnai Kare Videvi Shala. Chaupai just read. Nijit Luka Sukha Sabu Kurisunao. So, Raja Dashrath one day was very sad. He didn't have any sons. He wanted to have a son. Someone who could carry on his lineage, someone who could perform the Shraddha, someone who could certainly represent Dharma and everything that he stood for. And then he spoke about Shringi Rishi Vasishta Pulava Putra Yagya Shubhitu Karava. And when he performed his Putra Siyashna, and then out of that, Prakate Agani Charukaralini, when Agani appeared, the Charu and disputed Raja Dashrath to his queens, and then, of course, instead of 4 sons he was blessed with. Vyasi has been hammering at the point here tonight and telling us about the necessity, the need for us to protect Dharma. You mentioned this word Dharma so many times. Dharma, we all belong to this Dharma. It's called Sanatana Dharma. It is an eternal truth, Sanatana Dharma. And we know it is indestructible. But it cannot sustain by itself. All of us, we must do our part. You see, Dharma is like this diya. You say, well, this diya will never go out. Well, it can go out if you refuse to add oil to it. So every time you engage in any kind of pious activity, particularly Sanatana Dharma, you are adding your oil to this diya to keep that flame alive. So each of us, you see, the Vyasa challenges all of us. Each of us has our part to play in our own way to keep this Dharma alive. By you coming here tonight and coming this entire week to listening to Ram Katha, you are contributing towards the propagation and the promotion of Sanatana Dharma. You come here so that all of us give our Vyasi a chance to recite the Ramayana to us and we get a listen also. And you say, well, I heard this Katha before. Well, if you love coffee, every single day you're going to make a coffee and drink it, and you're never tired of it. Isn't that so? Right? Yeah. So the more you listen to it, the more you enjoy, the more you want to listen to it. And that is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. So I wouldn't elaborate more because in the essence of time. But once again, we want to thank Pandit Prakaash for accepting the invitation and for doing such a beautiful job here tonight, introducing Balkan to all of us and to Ramayan in the Park 2026. So keep up the great work, Panditji. You're doing excellent and you have a very, very far way to go. And keep shining. Yeah. And I want you to give his parents, especially his mom, a nice round of applause. Because she is his agent. Yeah, she's the one. You know, if you want him to do anything, you gotta put that part. You gotta go through that. If she says yes, it's yes. If he says no, she says yes, the answer is yes. Okay. So thank you, Mahinji, thank you. And that as well. Wonderful work. Producing great ambassador here at Pakaash. Now, we'll conclude in a few minutes. We want to ask Bhai Harmanji to please come forward to give his remarks before we conclude. And he's going to make an announcement also. We've got an event happening in the park here, sponsored by the Arya Spiritual Center. Harmanji is the director here of the Ramayan in the park. And after that, we will conclude here tonight. Please be reminded that, as usual, you have takeaway Mahaprasadam, the bhojans. Please make sure you grab that before you leave as well. And your donations are welcome. If you'd like to contribute towards the Ramayan Park, it will basically cost a lot of money. Val was not here earlier. I mentioned you, but I want to mention he is here. Top-notch decorator is putting all these decorations so beautifully again this year. So please give her a nice round of applause.
And thank you, dear Dharmacharya Sunila Narayan. I didn't write down the names, but Vyaas in the Park will be starting next Thursday, right here at this ground. We'd like to thank, of course, Coral Explosion. And I just mentioned about Vyaas in the Park coming up on this Thursday. So we have our treasurer here, an assistant treasurer, Danji and Ina. And also we have Auntie Ruby help us out. Naro and the boys at the Bandara, I didn't write down their name, and Ebola, and also Talbai. Chandra is going to be there.
Om Chandrama Manaso Jad Jagajo Suryo Ajayate Shrodra Dvajra Pranashe Mukhadagne Rajayate Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Kirati Kalit Lalit Siyate Ki Ho Kirati Kalit Lalit Siyate Ki Arati Shri Ramayan Arati Shri Ramayan Kirati Kalit Lalit Siyate Ki Ho Kirati Kalit Lalit Siyate Ki Arati Shri Ramayan Arati Shri Ramayan Jai Shri Ram Brahma Dik Muni Narade Kalviki Vigyan Visarade Shubha Samkadishe Adisarad Ho Parai Pavan Sutaki Dhatiri Ki Arati Shri Ramayan Arati Shri Ramayan Kirati Kalitara Litasiya आरती श्री रामायण जी की तीरथ काले तला विकसिय पीती हो तीरथ काले तला विकसिय पीती आरती श्री रामायण जी की
आरती श्री रामायण
गावत संतति शंभु भवानी अनुभट सो भव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि वरज दखानी कागव शुद्धि गरुड की आरती श्री रामायण जी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की तीरथ कले तलालित सिया पीकी हो तीरथ कले तलालित सिया पीकी आरती श्री रामायण जी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
जय श्री राम जय श्री राम जय श्री राम
At this point of time, I'll ask everyone to clasp their hands as we join in closing prayers. Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा ॐ मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दना यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदास्तु मे पापोऽहं पापकर्माहं पापात्मा पापसम्भवः त्राहि मा पुण्डरीकाक्ष सर्वपापहरो भव बार बार वर मांगो हर्षदेव श्रीरंग कर सरोज अनपायन भक्ति सरासत संगस्य वर रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ओम द्यौ शान्ति अंतरिक्षं शान्ति पृथ्वी शान्ति आकाश शान्ति औषधय शान्ति वनस्पति शान्ति विश्वदेव शान्ति ब्रह्मा शान्ति सर्वेषां शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तिरेव हरि ओम शान्ति 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 हरि ओम प्रेम बोलो महावीर स्वामी की प्रेम बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की प्रेम बोलो व्यास महाराज की प्रेम बोलो व्यास महाराज की सब संतों की जय जय सीताराम
So this is Sachin, that is Sachin Latchminarine. He is the youngest sensation. You see that seat there? You'll be good up there too. Great. Soon. Right. That's what I want. Thank you very much. Now, tomorrow night, Ramayan in the park continues, and we'll be listening to Pandit Mahadev Dev Prasad. He is being officiating here every year, sponsored by my sister Latchminarine and family tomorrow evening. So please come out again. Please bring a friend along.
हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए, शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए। प्रभु आनंद दाता
लीजिए हमको शरण में, हम प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए, शीघ्र सारी दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें। प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें। सत्य बोले झूठ त्यागे, सत्य बोले झूठ त्यागे, मेल वापस में करें। शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए। हे प्रभु